What's up YouTube, Zero here. Welcome to the place where gamers, witches, wizards, and superheroes unite. Today, I'm going to be showing you some gameplay and giving you some background information on the Ivory Lagiacrus in Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin. Now in this video, you're going to see the Ivory Lagiacrus in my party as well as facing it. You can see in the clip right now, I am taking on the Ivory Lagiacrus. I'm going to talk about its weaknesses, its preferred moves, the Ivory Lagiacrus's location, as well as how to make it retreat more easily. I'm also, at the end of the video, going to discuss what I think about the Ivory Lagiacrus in Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin. Now, do not confuse the Ivory Lagiacrus with its counterpart, the Lagiacrus. Two different monsters in this game. But before I get into talking about that, I do want to say that if you do enjoy this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. For more Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin content, I do a bunch of other video game videos and mystery box unboxing videos, so check those out as well after this video has completed. It does really help out me and my channel when you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. So thank you so much for doing so in advance. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now, without further ado, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video, the moment you have all been waiting for. Now, the major visual difference of the Ivory Lagiacrus versus its counterpart, the Lagiacrus, is that the Ivory Lagiacrus is going to be pretty much all white. You can see that in the video, with blue horns running down its body, as well as blue fingernails and toenails. Yes, I'm saying it has both hands and feet, even though it walks on all fours. That call is up to you. You could say it has 4 feet, you could say it has 4 hands, or you could be like me and say it has 2 hands, 2 feet. All up to you. The normal Lagiacrus is pretty much all blue with red horns as well as red fingernails and toenails. So, two vastly different looks when it comes to these two monsters. Now let's talk about the background information of the Ivory Lagiacrus. An amazing monster to look at, but can it hold up when you put it in your party? First, let's just talk about its background. A subspecies of Lagiacrus adapted to life on land. Their beautiful white carapace belies their vicious nature. Their agility, coupled with their dash and breath attacks, are nothing short of devastating. The electrical charges they emit when enraged are truly fearsome. Now, they are an electric type monster, so they prefer electric type attacks. I would utilize that when you are facing a monster that's weak to electric type attacks. Pull out the Ivory Lagiacrus. In the game, it also typically prefers power type attacks. So you're going to do better when you're facing technical type monsters. So the best version, or when you want to utilize the Ivory Lagiacrus, is when you're facing a monster that's weak to electric, because the Ivory Lagiacrus prefers electric type attacks, and it does have 2 amazing ones in its arsenal. And it also prefers power type attacks. So it's going to be weak to speed. Put it away when you are facing those speed type monsters. But there's also a little trick up its sleeve that I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But first, where can you find the Ivory Lagiacrus if you do want to take it on? Perhaps you're farming for materials, or you want to make it hatch. Now, it's going to be in Turga, at that Turga volcano base. As soon as you spawn there, it's going to be right in front of you. It pretty much always spawns there, so you're going to be able to see it and constantly take it on. Now, if you want to increase the retreat rate, opposed to using a paintball, because you can always use a paintball to increase the retreat rate, you want to defeat with a Rathalos Kinship Skill to greatly boost the retreat rate. So you're almost always going to have your Rathalos on you, gonna be very easy to make the Ivory Lagiacrus retreat. I actually have a bunch of eggs. I like a lot of its moves, so I've been giving a lot of its moves and genes to other electric type monsters because I really do like its move pool that I'm going to talk about in a second. Now, its weaknesses, because this is important. You want to defeat the Ivory Lagiacrus as quickly as possible. On the back, you're going to want to use a slashing weapon, so your swords. So remember, back is swords. If you're doing the body, if you're hitting the body, you want to use a blunt type weapon, so your hammer. So back, sword, body, hammer. And we're going to confuse you even more. The tail is going to be your piercing or your bow and arrow. So you get to utilize all 3 of your weapons in this battle. Again, the back is a sword, the body is a hammer, and the tail is going to be your bow and arrow. Now that we've talked about its weaknesses, let's talk about its moves a little bit more. I really do love its moveset. Now again, it typically prefers power. However, its genes, it has 3 confirmed genes. 1 is a power type attack, and that's going to be your plasma pressure. However, it does get a speed type move, your plasma blaster. So it will utilize a speed type move every once in a while, and you can also utilize that speed type move that it gets. If you do keep it in its genes, you can always get rid of it if you want, but it is a great move to have because it does, that plasma blaster does hit all enemies and is a speed type move. So the Ivory Lagiacrus does get a power type move and a speed type move, which is always nice to have in your arsenal if you do want to take on enemies that may not be weak to that typical move of your monster. In this case, the Ivory Lagiacrus is power, but it does get that speed type move. So that is always a nice touch for this monster. Now, its egg, granted, we already know how to make it retreat. It's going to be pretty easy to identify the egg after you make it retreat once or twice, but it's going to have blue wavy stripes and a yellow background. So if you are looking for its egg and you're just in a rare Monster Den and a blue striped yellow background egg comes up, that's going to be your Ivory Lagiacrus egg. But again, we know where it is. It's in the Turga volcano base. It's going to be right in front of us. It's going to pop up all the time. So we are going to be able to take it on and make it retreat as much as possible without too much of a struggle trying to locate it. There are other monsters in this game that are going to be much more of a pain to locate, and those videos are coming. Trust me, one is on the Nergigante. Now let's talk about the Kinship Skill. A very cool skill. I enjoy the animation of this. We go into the water, we create this sea, and then we down our enemy with electric. Awesome type move. Let's take a look at it, and while we're taking a look at this Kinship Skill, I'm gonna read it in the background. The Thunderous Blast. The king of the sea sways gently on the waves. Without warning, its prey has been brought right out into the middle of the ocean, where they're at the mercy of its surging electricity that's waiting to be discharged. Deals damage to 1 enemy. So it does only deal damage to 1 enemy, but it is an absolutely fantastic move. Now, in my opinion, I love the Ivory Lagiacrus. And in all honesty, it was on the back of the Ivory Lagiacrus that I was able to defeat the Nergigante. Now, it wasn't just the Ivory Lagiacrus. There were a few others, the Zinogre and the Astalos, that also helped me. But the Ivory Lagiacrus was a huge part of that. An absolutely fantastic monster that I recommend checking out. It's a power type monster. I recommend trying to get this monster and putting it in your party, especially for mid-game and especially before you take on that Nergigante, because this monster can truly help you out. Now, I do hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, peace.